In this video, I'm going to show you guys exactly how you're going to use SellerAmp to help you find profitable products and why it's an important tool to actually use within your Amazon business. My name is Christian, and I've been selling on Amazon for over 2.5 years now, and I've been able to generate $3 million within that time. I've used this tool over 1 million times over the course of me doing this business, so let's dig right in and teach you how to do this. So this is SellerAmp pretty much, and what this does is you can paste an ASIN, right, a product identifier, into SellerAmp right here, and it's going to tell you a ton of information about that product. So let's give a little example of this product here. Paste the ASIN in, and what this does is now it's going to generate all this information for you guys, and you're going to be able to see a lot of analytics as far as this product using SellerAmp. And so right off the bat, you can see it tells you if you're eligible, yes or no, right? If you're actually ungated, approved to sell this product. And so aside from that, it tells you a little bit of alerts, okay? Anything, if there was an IP suspected on this, or if there's a low seller count, which means it could be private label, then there would be a PL alert right here. So SellerAmp just kind of tells you some alerts that you need to look out for, right? This one has variations, and that's okay, but it's just letting you know. And so BSR, that's the seller's rank, right? How high does that product list in Amazon's catalog? And so this here, within its category, health and household, it's in the top 30,000. And so anything usually under 100,000 is very, very quick and is a good product to actually look at and see if you can find profitable because it sells fast, right? And so this is 30K, that's top 1%. So we know for a fact that this is going to sell fast. We can see the estimated sales here is about 300 times a month. And it tells you the max cost that you would have to buy this product at for it to still be profitable under the criteria you have set here. And so I have a minimum ROI of 30%, I believe, set on SellerAmp. So that means I need to find this product for $9.79 for it to be 30% ROI. Okay, anything over that, it might cross my threshold, right? And this would become red and it wouldn't be, profitable under my criteria. Under the cost price right here, we have how much did you buy that product for? And so this is super important. You have to enter this in correctly, add up tax, anything like that. And so as an example, let's say we bought this for $12, right? It's going to tell you all that information right here down below. Your profit margin, your return on investment, and the break-even price that you'd have to sell this product at for you to just break even, right? So these are the top metrics of SellerAmp when you're entering in the data. This is how I always check to see if I'm actually profitable with a product. You can go down here and this has, just some other alerts like I was talking about previously, how it has variations. This shows, if it's hazmat, if it's dangerous goods, private label, things like that. So then we move on to the offer count, and this is going to tell you how many people are on the listing, right? How many people are actually selling that product. That way you guys can see what the other competition looks like. And so you can go through, click load more, and you can see the actual fulfillment method that these sellers are doing, right? FBM or FBA, fulfilled by Amazon or fulfilled by merchant. And you can see usually FBM sellers do list a little bit lower because there's a tiny bit less fees when it comes to using FBM. And so you can see FBM is usually right here, and then some FBA sellers. We've got some FBMers up here, but we can just see their fulfillment method and how much they have in stock. So we can determine, okay, we see that this person, if they're winning the buy box, we know they're going to be in buy box for a little bit because they have 999 in stock until it rotates out of that, right? Right now, this person here has 87 stock and they are winning the buy box. And you can tell that because these numbers are in bold. SellerAmp does that, right? Whoever's in the buy box right now and winning that, they're going to be in bold. So this guy is winning the buy box, right? You can see he's winning with 87 in stock at price of $22.42. His profit is $4 if he bought it for $8.79. And so as an example, if we change this to $11, it also changes the offer counts of what they would have got it for as well, right? So if we say we got it for $11, it assumes they got it for $11 and tells us how much profit they're making at the price that they're selling at. You can always go in here and just click, and it's instantly going to change your sale price, the cost price. You could also change by just clicking, right? One click, boom, and it changed. So this is really useful to see the other competition, right? It tells you how much profit they're making, their return on investment. It's fully correlated to your cost price. So aside from this, they have the Keepa charts built in. And so with SellerAmp, you can actually see these Keepa charts, right? The sale price, how often it's moving in price, the buy box, the monthly sold count tells you how consistent it's selling. And then the offer count just tells you about all those other resellers, how fast they're selling out and how quickly people are getting on the listing. And so this is super useful as well because Keepa is built in to SellerAmp. And so you can kind of get a quick glimpse at Keepa which you guys are still going to want to use Keepa as a separate software, but this is still useful to just get a quick glimpse. And you can change the how you view it, right? 1 week, 1 month, 3 months, 1 year. And so it's just kind of useful here to get a glimpse of those Keepa charts. But the ranks and the prices, right? This is the BSR where it goes into a little bit more in depth, right? You can see that it's at 30,000 and it's at a 0.33%. And it's a very, very high ranking in its catalog. And so we know this product is popular. The buy box we know is currently winning at 22.45. So with this one, the lowest FBA sellers, right? That is the lowest amount that someone is selling that product for. So if you go over to the seller count right here, you can see 22.42. If this was at $20, this would say here $20 because that's the lowest that the FBA person is selling at. The Keepa BSR drop right here is going to tell you how often it sees the seller rank dropping on the Keepa charts over the past couple of days. And so 8 over the past 30 days, right? This is that green line here. That's the sales rank. And if that's dropping, you know that this product is getting more popular because it's going higher in the catalog of Amazon. So more people are buying and it's getting more popular when the sales rank goes down. And so this is a good sign, right? The sales rank has dropped 8 times in the last 30 days. The net buy box price changes, no changes in the past 30 days, right? Don't have to worry about that. And the estimated sales is just another one that we went over up here. Estimated time to sale, not enough data. I never use this metric if I'm being honest. I usually just use what I just showed you guys. I don't ever look at estimated time to sale. But in terms of the profit calculator, this is super important here because you're going to actually be able to see how much profit you're making per unit after the fees have been subtracted. And so if you go in and you type in, $10 as your cost price, and 24 as your sale price, you can switch between FBA or FBM. Depends. If you're doing FBA, keep it on FBA. But if you are doing FBM, you could switch it here and you add your FBM shipping cost for however much that shipping label costs. And so as an example and as a baseline, we've got this product here, which on SellerAmp, you can hover over this box and it tells you the weight of the product. This is 4.6 ounces, which means usually that product is only going to be, or that shipping label is only going to be around $4 to $5, right? Anything under a pound is usually $4 to $6 or so. Once you get up towards 9 ounces, 10 ounces, 12 ounces, and so on, it might become around $6.50, and it just goes up with more weight. And so the cheapest label that I've ever seen you get or seen anyone ever get on Amazon is $4.36 USPS. That's the cheapest labels I've ever gotten and the ones that I've seen other people get. But if you can get them cheaper, always purchase through Amazon Seller Central. I know a lot of people want to go through, let's say, a different website and get third-party labels. You do not want to do that, guys. You want to ship directly through Amazon Seller Central. Use their shipping fee service. That'll protect you guys in the long run. In case anything ever happens to your account, you have proof that you used their shipping services. And so I always recommend doing that, right? So as an example, this one's 4 ounces. And so this would be around $4. Let's add a little bit more just in case. So $4.50 if we were doing FBM. And we can see we're making $5.90 profit. Price is $24. Our cost price is $8 or $10. And our total fees is $8.10. And so we can see our return on investment is 59%. The maximum cost, right? The minimum ROI, like I said earlier in the video, is I have set to 30%. And the minimum profit per unit, I have to make at least $3 per unit, right? That's just a general baseline. Sometimes if it's $2 profit per unit, but I'm still making a high profit percentage, a profit margin, then I'll still do the product, right? I'll still purchase it and sell it, especially if it's in demand. But that's just telling you what you have set on your SellerAmp. And so total fees, guys, this is where it gets important because you can see how much you're getting charged on this product specifically. So the referral fee is usually around 15%. I believe it's a little bit less on apparel items, but the FBM fulfillment fee is just $4.50, whatever we set here. And then you don't have to worry about storage fee, the prep fees, inbound shipping, inbound placement, anything like that because you're doing FBM. But if you were doing FBA, you can see it takes away about $1 of profit, but that is because I have a prep center fee entered in there. You guys as newer sellers probably wouldn't have a prep center fee, right? You would just have this as 0. So it would look more like $5.13 profit as opposed to $5.90 profit with FBM. And so it's not that much of a difference. And I think it's a lot more beneficial because you don't have to touch that product whatsoever. It's just going to Amazon and Amazon's handling the rest of it. You don't have to sit there and ship to the customers anymore, and you can just spend all that extra time sourcing for more product. And so this discount is if you had a discount, you don't have one yet. But as an example, let's say it's $10 and we have a discount code on the website for 15%, right? We can just subtract 15%. SellerAmp lets us do that, and we can see $8.50 right here is our buy cost, and it would be this much as profit, right? And it tells us our profit margin, our break even sale price, and the estimated Amazon payout. Right, this is how much it estimates that we'll be getting paid out from Amazon when we sell this product, right? So the referral fee, the fulfillment fee, and then the sale price, we're getting paid out $15, and then we have to pay back our cost of goods, which is $8, and we're profiting $5.63. So you can also enter in, let's say you plan to buy 100 units, okay? It would be $850 to buy those 100 units, but then you would make $563 in profit on top of that $850 you spent. And so you'd sell $2,400 worth of revenue, pay back those fees and the expenses, and then you keep that profit, right? So moving on to this next spot right here, the buy box analysis. This is really important also because you're going to be able to see how often that buy box switches between sellers. And so right here, you can see this buy box switches quite often, switches a lot actually. Usually if it doesn't switch as often, you'll just see one of these little pies here, much larger than the rest. And you can see, how much percentage they're winning that buy box and so on and so forth. So right away, we can scroll down in here. And you can see this seller right here, Limited Supply LLC. The average price he's winning at is $23.86, and he's winning the buy box 26% of the time, right? And the last time he won that buy box was 2 hours ago. And so this is really good, important data because you can see the price he's selling for, and you can see if maybe you can sell for a price like that as well. And so he's winning at 26% at $23.86. So we know for a fact we could definitely win the buy box at $23.86 if we have similar shipping times as him. And so moving on to the next person, we just see their average price, how frequently they win the buy box, and how long ago that they won the buy box. And so this is a really, really good example of what you want to see, right? You want to see a lot of buy box share. You don't want to see one person holding 90% of the buy box and then the other people only having 1%. I like that this has, 2%, 3%, 3%, right? He's winning it just now, so he's in the buy box. This person won at 4% and so on and so forth. So plenty of room for people to actually get on this listing and for that buy box to rotate and for you to get sales. I've seen many listings like this before, and so this is a good example, right? Moving down to the variations, that is where this alert panel kind of already let us know earlier. This listing has 2 variations, and it's going to tell you what kinds, right? So you have a yellow one, and then you have a blue variation, okay? And that's going to switch over to the blue variation. And you're going to be able to see all that data now. And you can see, just as I was talking earlier about that buy box analysis, you can see Avalon Island is winning the buy box a lot of the time, 65% of the time. And that's not necessarily something to cause for concern because there's still other third-party sellers winning the buy box 8%, 9%, 16% just now. This variations is going to help you determine which product is the best based on, the product you're looking at. So there's other variations, right? As an example, if there was a pair of shorts, right? A black pair of shorts, you could find a white pair of shorts, a gray pair of shorts, a blue pair of shorts, right? And so it's not just one ASIN you guys find, it could be one ASIN with 8 variations. And so now you found 8 ASINs. And so that's just the variations for you to kind of see. The notes, if you wanted to add any notes and any lookup details, I never really go into this or deal with this because I have a separate sheet where I track all my leads. But aside from that, the discounts, right? If you ever did have a discount, let's say you had a 10% discount, you could just apply it to this, right? 15% discount, you just apply it to this and it keeps going up and up. And that's just if you do find like a discount code, right? And you want to see how much it is, or if it's a 3 for 2, you could do that and it's just going to do the math for you. Another little look at the Keepa charts here, and then directly to Seller Central, you could add this product, right? So if you wanted to add this product directly to Seller Central, you could just press it right here and it's going to go paste that ASIN in there and you'll fill out the required attributes and get that product listed on your storefront. So moving on from this point on though, because this isn't just all that SellerAmp has. It's not just a bunch of analytics. It actually helps you source and helps you match up some products to the Amazon catalog. And so from this point on, you guys can look at a little bit of information from the product. You could look at the actual product on the Amazon storefront right here, or you guys could actually look this product up on Google. And so if you want to go and try to source this product, that's how you do it. You use SellerAmp, you go to the Amazon listing and you can do it this way, right? You press Google and now it searches that title and you can try to find that same exact product right here on the retailer website. Right. And so we can see here we've got $8.99 plus $3.99. We've got the Dish Daddy handle and the dish wand adapter. That's what this is here, right? And so this is $22.42. Assuming we can get it for $4, $9, we can just kind of see what that would be for us if we could get it at that price. And you can see it's actually not profitable. And so it's not profitable, which is okay. We just move on to the next product and try to source a different retailer or a different product altogether. And so what you could also use SellerAmp for, which is super important and super useful, is you can go and you can actually go on to a catalog. So as an example, let's go to Kohl's. And if you've come across a product that you want to actually try to find on Amazon, you can just click SellerAmp and it's going to bring up a list of those products on Amazon. And so let's just use this as an example, whereas we look on Kohl's at this pair of Nike socks, if we want to try to find this product on Amazon, right? We see, okay, this is on sale. It's $16.80. We just click SellerAmp. And what it's going to do is it's going to go look up this product on Amazon and you can match up the product that way and make sure you're making a profit. And so we can see this is a 6-pack Everyday Plus cushion ankle. And we can see this is the same product here for $23.99 on Amazon. And from this point on, you could just press open the Amazon page and then you could go run the numbers and go through all of those steps I just taught you prior in this video, entering your buy cost, your sale price, ensuring you're still making a profit. And then if you are, going and buying that product. So that's the entire workflow of kind of using SellerAmp within your business on Amazon. Like I said, I've done this every single day over the past 2.5 years. I use SellerAmp and a couple other tools that I'll teach you on in other videos. If you did like this video and you feel like you learned a lot from this, if at any point in time you feel like you need that one-on-one handheld coaching directly from me, there's a link below that you can check out that one-on-one coaching application. I appreciate you guys watching and I can't wait to see you in the next video.